Today, let us take some time to study the Bible and examine the fact that eternal life will be granted to all mankind through Mother. Let us all go to Galatians chapter 4. Galatians chapter 4 verse 28 says, "Now you, brothers, like Isaac, are who? To the children of God, God granted the privilege of having a very important title, that is, the children of promise. Then let's see the promise that God has bestowed on them in 1 John chapter 2. Chapter 2, verse 25. And this is what he promised us, even eternal life. Simply speaking, the promise is eternal life. When it says that God allowed us eternal life, doesn't that mean that ultimately all children of promise have earned the right to enter God's kingdom? When we look at all the living creatures that physically have life, they have received their life from their mothers. From the birds of the air, fish in the sea, and animals on the ground, is there any single creature that has received its life apart from its mother? When you examine all this, what do you think is the will of God, who created all living creatures to be born through a mother? Therefore, if our physical life is given by a physical mother, through whom does God plan to grant us the promise of eternal life? When considering this matter, as physical life is given through a physical mother, can't we then conclude that spiritual life can only be given when a spiritual mother exists? Then, let us see if there is God the Mother in the Bible or not by turning to Genesis chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 says, "Then God said, 'Let us make man in our image, in our likeness.'" When God made mankind, God said, "Let us make man." God used the plural word us. Let us continue. Let them rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. And who did God create? Male and female, he created them. Then, if we call the male image of God, God the Father, how are we to call the female image of God? We should call her God the Mother. That is why God didn't say, "Let me," but "let us." Since there is God the Father and God the Mother as well, it is for this reason that God said, "Let us make man," instead of saying, "Let me make man by myself." Through the verses in Genesis chapter 1, can't we clearly realize without a shadow of doubt who exists to grant us God's promise of eternal life? We can confirm the fact that surely God the Mother must exist. Thus, without the existence of a mother, can either physical life or spiritual life even be possible? No. If physical life was given by a physical mother, it means that it is the will of God that spiritual life, that is to say, eternal life, will be given to mankind through a spiritual mother. By this, I would like to conclude today's sermon. Thank you very much.